Welcome to the Backpacking Podcast. As always, John Kelly here with Jeremiah Stringer, the king of Kentucky backpacking, and we are brought to you by Outdoor Vitals, makers of Performance First ultralight gear. And Jeremiah, we all know that Cyber Monday is now over. Yep. We also know that Good Friday is just a thing of the past. But today, December 4th, 2024, there is a massive sale that's starting with Outdoor Vitals called the 12 Days of Christmas Sale. Why don't you fill them in a little bit about that, Jeremiah?
Absolutely. Well, they're doing something totally different than pretty much all the other backpacking gear places. They have a different daily deal, literally every single day for this 12 Days of Christmas. So if you start today, December the 4th, their daily deal is 18%, up to 18% off of down top quilts, which I have two of their down top quilts, and they're awesome.
Slept in one last week.
I'll tell you this.
Did I throw you off? I didn't mean to throw you off.
Oh, you're okay.
You weren't expecting me to do that. I apologize, folks. This is what happens to Jeremiah. He puts up with me throwing things off all the time. So sorry about that.
Also, John said Good Friday is gone, and it is.
It's Black Friday. Not Good Friday, Black Friday. Good Friday is still a thing. Black Friday is over, though.
It's gone. It's gone. But it'll be back next year. But you don't want to wait till next year. You want to check out these daily deals. What I was saying was up to 18% off their down top quilts. Plus, you get a free balaclava. And
wait, there's more.
There is more. Billy Mays here. There's more. Free pair of booties.
Oh, and those are nice, man.
Yeah, dude. And we'll talk about this later in the show, but I actually needed some booties for my feet because I was on a winter backpacking trip over the weekend.
Yeah.
These right here will save you.
Oh, my gosh, man. They're fantastic.
Everybody check out the new daily deal. We'll remind you again next week, but you're going to miss all the deals from December 4th until we upload next week's episode. So check every single day. They're going to have a different daily deal all the days. Get yourself some free swag, some good backpacking gear, and some extreme discounts. Thank you, OutdoorVitals.com.
Yeah, that's going to be December 4th through December 15th. And like Jeremiah said, you better check every single day because each day it's going to be something completely different. And if you miss a day, you're out of luck. That day's over. It's time to move on to the next.
I'll add this, John. You actually did a fantastic job. I'll tell you why. I learned that in marketing, actually for the viewer, whenever you mess up, it is more retained. Advertisements are more retained and acted upon because it's more entertaining to the viewer instead of just a read. So you don't just get an average read here at the Backpacking Podcast. You get top-notch professional quality. That's what they're paying us for. So OutdoorVitals.com, thank you. And
Jeremiah, my only concern with when I mess up advertisements and things like that is that it doesn't really make anybody surprised because it's what I do, you know? But with that said, Jeremiah, so we both had a cold weekend. Well, you want to talk a little bit about yours?
Yeah, I got quite a bit to say about it. I don't know how deep we'll get into here. I'd love to have some of the people on the show to do a deep dive, but me and a number of other people, including Mr. Backpacking with Jason, sir, and another guy that has a YouTube channel, Woodall Trails, Jonathan, we all went out to the woods, us and a few other guys that don't have YouTube channels, and the low was like 18 degrees
Yep.
and it was right on the lake. It was cold. We went to Cave Run Lake actually. And John, you'll never guess what happened on the way.
Oh, you got to tell me.
Jonathan and I, we're actually from the same town and live here and hang out,
so you actually have someone to ride with now.
Well, that was the thing. He had to leave early because he had a Thanksgiving dinner to get back to.
Oh, man.
And we had to drive separate. So I'll tell you what I did. A little pro tip for all those backpackers.
From Jeremiah Stringer.
I
wish I had music for that. I wish there was music, like an intro music for this. Like I feel like this needs to be a segment on the show. I'm going to create that, I think.
All right. Yeah,
pro tips from Jeremiah. And I'll be like, and it's time for Pro Tips with Jeremiah Stringer.
Well,
Sorry,
also send me
sorry.
one with the poop sounds too. The poop, poop, poop,
Oh.
poop.
Oh, that could be
Yeah,
good.
because I was talking about poop, which more on that later. But
More on that later.
anyway, Jonathan, he had to drive separate because he had to be back Saturday for his family Thanksgiving dinner. And we made it up about, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour away from the house. And I got into the fast lane, started accelerating on the interstate. Jonathan was behind me. The pro tip is bring walkie talkies so you can communicate easily between vehicles, because a lot of people say, well, why don't you just use your cell phone? Well, you can if you're set up like John and have the hands free stuff. My truck has the stock radio and it's from like 2011 or something. So if you're not using Siri, you're not doing a whole lot hands free. And I think
Yeah.
Kentucky, you're supposed to not text and drive. So anyway, I just brought some walkie talkies. So there's your pro tip. Just the kid ones from Walmart or sporting goods store or whatever. And
Or install a CB radio.
hey, that's true. You could do that, especially if you're doing the Jeeping and stuff.
And here's the thing: a lot of people don't even know what those are anymore.
Yeah,
Which is a sad commentary for America, because I think some of the most fun times I ever had in my life was trolling truckers with a CB radio
Did
as
you
a
really
college student. Oh my gosh!
Give
If
me
you
an
want to get
example.
some truckers mad,
Uh,
just jump on there and just real quietly go, Peterbilt sucks.
Somebody's in their truck right now
Man,
hearing-
those guys would get so fired up over that phrase. Like, I don't even know how to tell you, man. It was just funny. It's just funny. And if you're a trucker out there, I'm sorry if I just offended you. It was not my intention. I mean, I was in my like teens and 20s back then, so you know.
if you can get
different
a break
time.
while you're on the road trucking, isn't that a great career to be able to hit different backpacking locations? That is, if you can take time off in between the transports.
Oh, heck
I
yeah.
know, being a trucker, I'm sure, is a spectrum. I'm totally uninformed on this, but I wanted to be a trucker whenever I was a kid. You know,
Yeah.
when you're in elementary school and they have career day, first thing I done was climb into the big semi truck that was parked outside the school, and it was my neighbor's dad who's the one that had the semi truck. And I was climbing in there. I was like, this is so cool. You're so high up. It's like driving a tank. There's a bed in here and a TV. This is what I want to do. Of course, I didn't even know how to drive at the time. So I'm sure I'm totally uninformed on this, but I assume that in trucking, there's all kinds of different types. Some people are gone for 2 weeks and they're home for a week and they're doing cross country nonstop. Some people are delivering
Yep.
oil in their county 5 days a week. I'm sure there's a bunch of different positions, but anyway, Peterbilt sucks.
Peterbilt sucks.
I'm just
gonna,
kidding.
I'm going to do something here, Jeremiah. I got to show you something. We're sitting here talking, and my phone just went off. And so
Yeah,
I got this thing that just came in, and I have to show this to you. This is what I just saw out at the area where I like to go deer hunting, where I've got my camera set up. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Yeah, maybe
but,
you can zoom in.
Yeah, I'm going to get this zoomed in all the way so you can see this. Do you
Is
see
that
what that is,
4 different-
Jeremiah?
Looks like a deer feeder, which some people say is not real hunting; it's harvesting.
Well, yeah, because they're going to eat
And-
them. There are 4 deer out there, Jeremiah.
Yes, dude.
4. Like, that's
It's on your
4
land.
deer.
I do like to see it. Is this live?
That was. It is right now 5:21 in the PM. That was at 5:16 PM.
Now, how do you have internet access to this? Is that Skylink or something? Y'all have Wi-Fi?
The cameras
out there
have
or what?
cellular. The cameras have cellular on them.
Okay.
So I
Separate.
have it set to send me as soon as like a picture gets taken.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, dude, they're out there right now.
What's that run you? Just a range, ballpark range, $15, $20 a month to have the cellular on the.
I think it's like $95 a year.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and
even
that's
cheaper.
for unlimited photos. So
Yeah, I got you.
it wasn't too bad.
Anyway,
But yeah, so cold weather. You were walkie talkies.
yeah. So the walkie-talkies, I have to use the walkie-talkie because Jonathan gets over behind me. He's following me, and then I see his blinkers come on, and I see his car start to slow down. And we're an hour from home and an hour and a half away from the trailhead. So we're like right in the middle. And I'm like, what's the deal? So he starts moving over. I got in the far left lane, was accelerating. He moves all the way over to the right, but he doesn't get off the shoulder. And I'm like, hey, man, is everything okay? He says, my car the check engine light just started coming on and flashing, and I can't go over 65. So we had to take it up to the next
Oh,
exit, which was literally like 10 more miles. I was like, "Do you want to pull over?" He's like, "No, it's kind of limping along. I hate to leave it here on the side of the road, just on the interstate." So we made it to Berea and left it in the Walmart parking lot, and he decided to just hop in the truck with me and go and get a ride back on Saturday. So that was how the trip started.
so this started off great.
Started off, yeah, a little bit rocky, but we were only like 20, 30 minutes late to the trailhead.
That's not bad.
It didn't.
On
It did not.
Jeremiah Stringer time, that's practically early.
Yeah, that might as well be early.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
it was
saying.
like 4 minutes late.
Yeah.
So we meet Jason and Mike there and hike in together and just proceed to have a nice cold time in the woods. I think that it didn't get above freezing literally the entire day. And I don't know about you, but my hands, I assume it's the dry air, they crack. And
Oh,
literally,
yeah.
I've been bleeding from my knuckle today.
Yeah. Yeah.
My lips are all chapped. So the funny part to this is there's one guy that couldn't make it until Saturday. And so we get up Saturday morning and there's no cell phone service. And I had 1 bar LTE and was able to call Bridget. And she was like, "Hey, you know that they're doing a severe weather warning for your area right now?" She's like, "They're forecasting like 3 inches of snow and 100% humidity. And it's going to be happening overnight. So you're going to be driving home in the snow and the ice on Sunday." I was like, "No, I didn't know that." And I tell all the guys, and Jason, he's got a Garmin. So he sends out the text. So it texted back the weather. And sure enough, severe weather warning. So the guy gets there. This is Sean, somebody I became friends with, but is one of Jason's buddies.
Who's actually from the town right near me, he's from Cynthiana. Isn't that right? Is that where Sean's from?
I think he's originally born in Michigan, but has lived here just like you in Kentucky, even longer than anywhere else. But I'm not sure if he's raised in Cynthiana or not. But anyway, yeah, he gets there and we all kind of decided that, sorry, bro, it's 100% humidity. We just lived through. Everybody got cold except for me. I woke up at 3 a.m. like Friday night. You wake up Saturday. So Saturday at like 3 or 4 a.m. I was so sweaty, man. I had to take my underquilt off. It's 18 degrees outside.
And you know why that is, right?
Because I had a 0 degree over and under.
From Outdoor Vitals.
Outdoor Vitals, my 0 degree top quilt, dude.
Nailed it.
I had to peel it back and air out my armpits because I was just drenched in sweat. I asked the other guys, "How did y'all sleep?" We got up Saturday morning. I waited till they made a fire. There's 4 guys huddled around the fire. And then I said, "Well, looks like the fire's going." So I got up and put my booties back on and waddled over to the fire. "How'd you guys sleep?" "Cold. My feet were cold. I got cold at this time." I said, "Man, y'all don't want to hear this, but woke up at 3 or 4 this morning and I saw somebody's headlamp." Scott was like, "That was me. I was turning on my my little stove in my tent to heat it up some." He's the only one with the tent. He's like, "It's about 60 degrees in there." I said, "Yep, that was the same time I was waking up sweating for being so hot because I have the proper gear."
So, and tell me you said it just like that. You literally looked at them and said, "Because I had the proper gear."
I'm a tactful guy. I might have been a little less condescending than I was right then because they're not listening.
Gosh, you had such an opportunity there. Such an opportunity, man.
So long story short, Sean arrived and we said, "Sorry, bro. Our lips are chapped. Everybody slept cold. We'll keep walking the rest of the trail with you, but we're going to head back to the car." And we basically hung out until dark, but I headed out of there about the time the sun was setting. It was a hard decision. I was I even left my key with Jason so that if him and Mike left, they could move my truck and just hide the key and I could pick it up on Sunday. But in the end, I decided to head out as well. This would have been my first time being away from the wife and baby for 2 nights. And
wow.
I could not make it happen. I just couldn't make it happen. So
When you love the baby like you do, what are you gonna do, man?
I love him so much.
I know. I
So
know.
I do have a little Christmas, what I would like to call the perfect gift.
Oh no, hold on, hold
for,
on, hold on. Don't go there yet. I got to talk about my weekend still.
Oh, you want to talk about your
Don't
weekend? Before
don't
I
don't,
tell
don't jump the gun on me here because this is
Okay,
important.
all right.
I got to tell you about.
Wait, let me make sure I don't have anything else to say
Okay.
because I really want to unpack your weekend as well. No, I think that's it. Yeah,
Okay.
that was it. Yeah.
So here's the deal. We had Thanksgiving, so we had Thanksgiving on Thursday with my wife's family. Came home on Friday. My wife has her birthday on Friday, so I had plans all day Friday with my wife. We actually got our kids to stay with her aunt, so we actually had a night just the two of us where we didn't have to do anything. And then the next morning, Saturday morning, it is 19 degrees outside, and I get up at 4:45 in the morning, get on all of my hunting clothes, get my shotgun ready, get everything together because I'm going duck hunting.
Yeah.
And so I sat in a duck blind from about 6:30 in the morning till about 10:30 in the morning.
For 4 hours.
4 hours in a duck blind.
Can I ask you about the clothes? I assume you layered up with mostly backpacking clothes and then
Hunting clothes. I've got completely different clothes for hunting.
What's the difference?
I don't have to worry about ultralight.
Oh, okay. So you were wearing some heavier layers because you're going to be sitting in the blind.
Yeah. So my hunting clothes. Now I will say I've actually messaged Outdoor Vitals and said, "Have you guys ever thought about doing hunting clothes?" And they've actually thought about it, but they said it's hard to get rights to like different kinds of camo and all that kind of stuff because it's just a different world. But with that said, a lot of my stuff is just heavier. And it's really warm. Like the only thing that was cold on me was my feet, and that's just because I forgot I didn't buy insulated mud boots, and I should have. So that was on me. Yeah, my toes were cold, but I mean that was the worst of it. Like really everything else was fine. My hands got a little cold when I got out of the blind because we had a couple little like buddy heaters inside the blind with us. So by no means was it warm, but it wasn't nearly as cold, if I can put it that way.
Yeah, and were you wearing? See, I wore muck boots whenever I was duck hunting, but the guy I was with had bibs that went all the way up to his chest. I was like, "Are those waterproof?" He's like, "Yeah, if we shoot one, I need to walk out and get it out of this creek or river or whatever, marshland."
Yeah, I wasn't wearing waders. I've got bibs though, but I've got them for like when I go deer hunting and stuff. And so I just wore those.
It's waders if it's like waterproof overalls, basically, that you can wade out in.
Yeah, they actually are connected. They have boots built into them and everything, so you don't get water on you. But we had a kayak, so if we needed to go get a duck, one of the guys had a kayak. He'd just go out in the kayak and get the duck and bring it back.
Okay, gotcha.
So it was one of those days. It was cold, man. It was cold, 19 degrees. Yeah, and 19. It got chillier because the wind picked up.
Oh, so yeah, the wind is biting.
I don't know if you've sat by a pond for very long, and you know how sometimes they'll have that moss that grows on top of the pond, and it'll just float across the pond. Well, half the pond was covered in that stuff when we started, but by the end, the wind had blown it all to a little spot down at the far end of the pond.
Oh, you could see nature while it's going to work.
Oh, it's going to work all right, and it went to work on us. I got chapped lips, and you were talking about cracked fingers. I'm right there with you, dude. I got those cracked fingers too.
Now, do you use working man's hand, or do you use some of that frou-frou lotion?
Honestly, you know what I use sometimes?
What?
Aloe.
Aloe, okay.
As weird as it sounds, that seems to be like the thing that seems to work for me.
No, my masseuse told me whenever I was having like
You have a masseuse? You have like a personal masseuse? Man, what is going on with the pay on this podcast? You must be getting the good pay. I don't know a private masseuse.
Well, if you had state insurance, you could bill them for it. That's what I do.
That's a good call.
Don't be spreading that out there. I don't know if that's allowed or not. So
do whatever you gotta do, man.
No, nobody's hearing this, so that's just between us, John. Just between me and you.
Well, I mean, you can always edit it out.
Oh, no. We full transparency here on the laws that we break. But anyway, she told me She said her dad would drink aloe. Like you
I've
can
heard
buy
that.
it by the jug. Yeah, and I
I've heard
never
that.
did it, and I didn't have the heart to be like, "No, that's kind of disgusting, and I'm not gonna drink aloe gel," but, I use it for sunburns, and I assume you got about 4 aloe plants in your house, and you just crack a piece off and rub it on your hands when you need it. Is that the way that you do it?
No, we have black thumbs in our family. We can't grow a plant to save our lives. So
Oh.
I have the aloe lotion.
Yeah, you outsource it. That's
I
smart.
do. I do.
That's
I outsource. I've got an outsource guy.
Is it Walmart?
His name is Sam.
Last name club.
Well, it was Sam. Now we got some dude named Costco. So he helps us out now.
Oh,
So
yeah, nice
speaking
guy.
of Costco, can I throw something out there for you backpackers?
Yeah, are you done with your ducks? Or you didn't even tell me if you got one.
We did not. So nothing to talk
Did you
about
at
there.
least-
But it was
did you at least
cold.
miss- Okay.
It was
I
good
missed
fun,
a couple
though.
of shots.
I didn't even take a shot.
Okay. Well,
I didn't even get to
that-
take a shot. So that's
that
okay. I
just
bought a
means you-
crossbow. I'll be taking a crossbow out on Friday. We'll let you know how that goes.
All right. Yeah, I can't wait to hear.
That's why that picture was so exciting for me, which another one came in right after I put that one up. But anyways, so Costco,
Mhm.
go there sometime. And like, if you're a backpacker and you're just getting started, if you go to Costco, they have down jackets, warm socks, like wool socks, all kinds of outdoor clothing in their clothing section. If you just go out there and check it, and the prices are insanely good. So if you're a Costco member, just a little pro tip from John. This is your pro tip from John Kelly. I go out there and get yourself a Costco discount on some clothes, because I bought some socks, and those socks were probably what kept my feet from really getting cold on Saturday. So
Yeah, you
something to check out.
should have got some Outdoor Vitals booties. Those
You
would have
know,
kept your.
I probably should have worn the booties inside of my muck boots.
Yeah, and I was looking at the Costco memberships. There's $130 per year and a $65 per year, but that just gets you in the door, right? Like you're basically paying a fee, and that says, "Hey, you can shop here." Because if you go there without a car, I've never been to Costco before, but I assume
It's the
that
same
there's
as
somebody
Sam's
in the
Club.
door.
It's all the same thing. It's just a little
Okay.
bit nicer than Sam's Club, I think.
All right, bougie Sam's Club.
Bougie Sam's.
Well, there's not one near me, so I guess I'd have to order online.
Way to fail.
All right, you want to talk about these the gift that I was going to mention earlier?
Yeah, like we were talking earlier before we got online, just about like what can we talk about right now that would be timely and that would be useful for everybody. And we talked about 3 things that we want to talk about that are Christmas wise. The first one is, Jeremiah, if you were talking to another backpacker right now and you were to say, "Hey, this would be a good Christmas movie for you to watch," what would it be?
Oh, especially if you're on trail and it's dark and you're laying in your hammock, you cannot go wrong with Krampus. I watched it with my 4.5-month-year-old just just a couple of days ago.
4.5-month-year-old.
I gotta say, I was a bigger fan than he was. He kind of looked frightened, but
You probably just scarred your child for like his whole life at this point.
shout out to Hoot. Hoot, he's on YouTube. What's his YouTube?
It's Hoot on the
channel?
Trail, isn't it? Is that what it is?
Hoot on the Trail. Let me verify. Hoot on the Trail. I'm pretty sure you're right. Yep. Hoot on the Trail. Shout out to him. I wouldn't even thought about it, and he popped up on my Facebook. I think I was mindlessly scrolling through Facebook like one does.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of Renaissance fairs and stuff. And one of the things that he dresses up as, or at least he did a few years ago that popped up, was Krampus. So I said, you know what? I don't think I've seen this movie. And we watch so many Christmas movies. My wife loves them.
Yep, so does
And
mine.
would I rather watch Miracle on 34th Street or whatever street that was? Or would I rather watch Krampus? And you know what? She did not watch it. She was doing something else.
So you know what that
What?
means? You do know
What?
what that means, right? You just got to win there, because that means you now have a coupon for one Hallmark Christmas movie you don't have to watch.
Oh, now you're talking.
See,
Now,
that's fair, because you can just say, "Sweetie, I know you want me to watch this movie with you, but you didn't watch Krampus with me, so I've got one coupon."
dude,
One
she walked
coupon.
in there. She walked in there at the beginning of the movie, and the beginning of the movie is like a famous Christmas song that you'd hear on the radio, and it's like people Black Friday shop fighting basically, and it looks like a Christmas movie. And then she came back later, and there was like a obese child that was trying to eat a gingerbread cookie, but he was wrapped in chains being drug up a chimney by a demon. She was like, this is not a Christmas movie.
Okay, don't tell me how it ends because now I want to go watch the movie. That's funny.
Oh, you'll love it, dude. You'll
That's
love
funny.
it. What's yours?
Oh, I got a great one, man. And I think it is one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. It's widely celebrated as a Christmas movie, but it's also widely battled as to whether or not it's a Christmas movie. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm on Die Hard is a Christmas movie. That's my camp I'm going with. And I'm telling you right now, there's nothing better than sitting in your hammock when it's 20 degrees outside, watching Die Hard and seeing Nakatomi Plaza and Bruce Willis with all of his famous lines and saving the day. I mean, come on, it's just the best ever. Like you can't go wrong with Die Hard at Christmas.
I'm writing down a poll to add to this episode. Now,
is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And the
now
correct answer is yes.
Well, let's not sway the voting here.
I'm not swaying the voting. I'm giving facts. That's my job. I'm the fact checker.
Okay. I'm going to leave it up to the viewers to decide. Don't let John influence your decision. Okay.
Yes. So the answers, the way they're going to appear on the poll are this. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Yes, John was right. Or no, I am wrong. That's what not as in John, as in you that are answering are wrong. So.
Okay. I'll write that down here. I don't know if that'll make the cut, but we'll try. I will mention 95% of the time, whenever I say I'm going to do a poll on here, I totally forget to do the poll. So I'm writing it down. Last time I also wrote it down, but still forgot. But I'm writing it down this time.
Fair enough.
And if it's on there, if you're listening on Spotify, then answer the poll. If you're listening on a different platform, you might have to comment instead.
Okay, Jeremiah.
Got it.
Movies. We just did movies that you could watch while you're camping or backpacking. Now, what piece of gear, if you had no limit on money or whatever, would you buy for a backpacker for Christmas?
This one is super simple and super underrated and literally inexpensive whenever you compare it to gear prices.
Okay.
My vote is to add to your warmth collection as we're entering into the winter season here. I prefer fingerless gloves. And then if it's going to be cold enough that you like really, really need gloves, like I'm going to get frostbite, need gloves, not like I need gloves to be a little more comfortable, then you could add in some mittens that are also fingerless. So you'll have the fingerless gloves and you can add the mittens anytime you want, but they're also like the Outdoor Research has some that you can fold the top part down and fold the thumb down so you can still access all of your digits. And that's what I like. I like to keep my hands warm in the cold, but whenever I need to expose my fingers because I need to do something that takes like defined dexterity, like screwing in a screw or tightening up a beetle strap or something like that, something that I really have to use my hands for, that it's not just something that you need to really be able to grab. Fingerless gloves are the way to go. Now, the problem with them is your fingertips are exposed. So,
but if you get the kinds that are also mittens,
yes,
which I have, those are fantastic.
Yeah, and I would also add in the cost is going to be negligible. I think I paid, I don't know, $20 or $30, and they last for a couple of years. And I would add in hot hands. I like to put them in the palm.
Yeah,
the fingerless gloves.
Well, I'm going to go more bougie than you.
All right, let's hear it.
So I'm actually going to put this up on the screen. So, well, I'm going to try to anyways, and it's not doing what I asked for it to. So we're not going to do that now, maybe. Let me see here. Let's go over here to Safari. There we go. Okay. So Jeremiah, this thing right here that I'm about to click on, this is the Wanderlux ultralight hammock kit for hammock camping from Hammock Gear.
Oh,
the total kit weighs 33 ounces. And the kit includes a hammock, suspension, a Dyneema fiber hex tarp, stuff sack, stake sack, and titanium hook sack for $475. And if you upgrade and go ahead and get a 20-degree burrow and incubator, which is the top and bottom quilt, that will cost you around $1,200. So
$1,200 out the door to have a full hammock setup.
Which is not too bad when you consider that's including a Dyneema tarp.
Yeah, that alone can run $600-700.
Yeah, and I would like to buy that for every tent camper I know.
Yeah, but what then? If you have a hammock, you can't turn on your little backpacking stove inside your tent to warm it up whenever you got to get up and pee at 3:30.
Sure, you can. Get you a little table, set it beside your hammock, and turn up your little stove and eat. Here's the thing, though. If you've got the right quilts, Jeremiah, as you proved earlier, you don't need to turn on your stove to heat up because you're staying warm in your toasty hammock.
Yeah, well, I'm on board, man. I'm on board. Hammock gear, actually, I brought an underquilt protector that Mr. Backpacking with Jason gifted. I think he got us both one a few years.
Yeah, he got us both one a few years ago. Those things are, I love mine.
Oh, it's legit, man. That and all the protection that it offers for wet weather and cold weather and breaking the wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Jeremiah breaks a lot of wind, so that's good that, you got that.
Love it. Love it.
What's going on, Hawkers?
So that would be the next thing. So the third thing. We said there were going to be three things that we're going to talk about that are like Christmas ideas for backpackers. We talked about our favorite Christmas movie to watch while we're camping. We talked about the gift that we would buy for other backpackers. The third thing that we said is if our spouse was to get us an all cost paid trip, backpacking trip of our choice, where would it be? So what is yours, Jeremiah?
Well, hopefully I don't steal your thunder here because
Okay.
we did not discuss.
We did not
who
discuss.
wants to do what. So this is a trail that I know that you've been wanting to do, and you kind of have it scheduled for an upcoming birthday, hopefully. The JMT.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I think that my wife and I, if she's paying for it all, which probably means that we're both paying for it or I'm paying for it, then she can just kind of tag along and we could do it together because I'm pretty sure that would take us about a month, give or take, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, something like that. We could do the whole thing together, and it sounds like a great second honeymoon to me.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
And the Camino is kind of a second honeymoon, I guess. So why not relive it on the JMT here in the States?
I can't argue with you on that. I can't argue with that. That sounds like a fantastic one. Mine is a little more bougie than that.
Oh, very bougie today.
I'm into the bougie for some reason. And mine looks like this. Let's see if I can make this bigger for everybody.
Gosh, is that Peru?
This is Peru, man. Machu Picchu.
I thought.
If I could do a backpacking trip through Peru and do Machu Picchu and the painted mountains there in Peru, I'd be all over that, man. That just I've seen several people who've done it, and every time I see it, I'm just very jealous. I'm not normally a jealous person, but I would love to go to Machu Picchu.
Now let me ask you something about this. While we're on the topic of Machu Picchu, and I don't know what I feel like there's a lot of Central and South America that nature is just reclaimed, and Machu Picchu. I mean, it's not reclaimed. You just saw they've uncovered a bunch of structures and stuff. I was wanting to know, have you heard of LIDAR?
Yes.
Okay. For those that haven't, it stands for light detection and ranging. And basically they use like remote sensing to map out areas. So you get kind of a topographical map without having to disturb the ground of what's under the ground. So then instead of searching for these lost cities or excavating things like they may have done in Machu Picchu, you can see it on the computer without touching any of the ground. So then you can figure out specifically, like, for example, in the Amazon rainforest, you can see, is there a pyramid there without actually having to dig in and see if there's stone. So I was wondering if you had heard of that and if you'd want to visit any of those places.
Man, I would love. I love travel. I mean, I love going all over the place. I wish I could do it more than I can. But I mean, it just how life is. You just kind of got other things that are more important right now.
Hmm.
And if I could do it, I would do that. LiDAR is also what they use to do bokeh in the iPhone.
No, how does that work?
They use the light detection to detect with your phone
Uh-huh.
distances. So like the difference between where your nose is to where your ear is to where the background is behind you. And that's how they do the focus on an iPhone. That's how they do the whole bokeh thing where you've got the blurry background.
Yeah.
They
Well,
use
let
LiDAR
me
to do that.
see if in less than 10 seconds I can explain to people like a
All bokeh
traditional
is if you look at a picture that's a really nice photograph, you'll notice that the person is really in focus and
camera.
everything behind them is not.
Oftentimes, yes.
A really good photo typically is. And so that's what that is. That blurry background is called the bokeh or the bokeh, depending on who you talk to. The more
iPhone kind of fakes it.
Yeah, but the iPhone actually uses LiDAR to accurately depict that. And like if you look at a picture from an iPhone today to when they first started doing that, there's a massive difference.
Oh, it's so much better. Used to, you could literally like almost see a digitized border where you're like, why is this part kind of blurry and this part on this side of the face is not?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, unless you are kind of in the photography world, I feel like iPhone does such a good job of faking it that it looks real. Like you could have side by side photos and to a lame person or a lay person, not lame, I guess. Is it lay person?
It's a layperson, yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well,
also lame.
and I need to show this to you, Jeremiah. This is another reason I want to go to Peru. You want to see it?
Hmm. Yeah.
This right here.
Oh yeah, I think I seen this whenever.
We
Let's
had
see, who
Rob
did we
Pelton
have
on.
on?
We had Rob
Yeah,
Pelton on.
Rob went there and told us about this. So tell
Yes.
everybody what that looks like. That are just
If
listening.
if you're just listening right now, there is a range of mountains in Peru where the mountains just look like colors, just rainbow striated colors all the way across the mountains. Reds, yellows, blues, greens. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I have always wanted to go there. And I remember when I actually, this is a funny story about Rob. I was
Mhm.
texting Rob and we were talking about trips we wanted to go on. And I mentioned to him that I wanted to go to Peru and I wanted to see those mountains. And he just he wrote back, LOL. And I'm like, what is that? He goes, I'm going there. I'm like, what? so, so he and I were thinking the same thing. He just actually had the money to be able to do it. So,
Yeah, money is a big deterrent.
yeah, it is. But I mean, talk
You
about
wanna?
beautiful. Talk about beautiful.
Should I wrap with a little poop talk here?
Give us a little poop talk, man, and we'll get this thing all wrapped up and ready to go. Like a
All
beautiful
right.
little
Well,
Christmas present.
we had success. Friday morning, I woke up very early and headed out. Actually, I met Jonathan at Starbucks before his car broke down. We followed each other, and then made it out to the woods. And I'd already eaten like trash, right? Because you had Thanksgiving, and so
Right.
along with Thanksgiving comes basically all the desserts you can think of and eat.
Yep.
And well, I think that might have bound me up a little bit because Friday after Thanksgiving, Friday did not poop in the woods, won the game. Saturday woke up and I was like, man, my stomach does not feel great. I feel like I've eaten all this trash. And I will add this. My wife and I were supposed to take some peanut butter balls over to her grandma's for Thanksgiving. And by the time we got there, well, the only person left there was her grandma. So we didn't we didn't take the peanut butter balls. So that meant I got to take them backpacking. And
Oh. So you were everybody's favorite.
well, I wouldn't say that because I said, "Would you get like a peanut butter ball?" And everybody took one, I think, but Jason. And then they wanted one later, and I was like, "They are available while supplies last." And so I think I'd taken 15 ish, and then I think everybody got one except for Jason. So that means I'm pretty sure I ate a dozen of those peanut butter balls.
By yourself?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Wow.
And
You were
I
bound
gotta
up.
tell you, I was all bound up. Today, I'm celebrating my 4th poop since, well, like 4:30 a.m. this morning. I had to wake up and poop. And I think I did poop actually on Sunday, but I think it's all washing out
Well,
because today we're recording this on Monday. And luckily, I work at a public school, so I got to use their toilet paper 3 times today. So my butt does not feel great.
little
Should have
raw.
brought a little raw. Should have brought my pocket bidet with me to work today. But lesson learned. I'll know from now on. Don't try to win the Don't Poop in the Woods game. Just let it all go while you're out there and use your pocket bidet.
Well, just to go along with you before we go bye-bye to everybody, I stopped up 3 toilets over the weekend. So with that said, for myself and Jeremiah, thank you guys for tuning into the Backpacking Podcast. We will catch you on the next one.